Hey friends, Thor here. It's This Week on Blu-ray, DVD, and on demand. Now, I took last week off, so we have to do a little bit of house cleaning. And for the first one, we're taking out the trash. Two titles that came out last week. We're going to start with Inferno. Now, this is the third time that we've seen Tom Hanks play renowned symbologist Robert Langdon, based on the Dan Brown books. Made famous, obviously, with the Da Vinci Code. I don't know why they made a third one, though, because this is terrible from start to finish. Basically, he wakes up in a hospital room in Italy with no memory of what occurred for the last few days. Then he finds himself the target of a manhunt while trying to solve all the intricate puzzles again. You see Ben Foster there. Also stars Felicity Jones, Irfan Khan, and Omar Sy. The problem, mainly for me, was that Hanks spent most of the movie completely befuddled or in pain, grimacing everywhere. So he wasn't likable to watch, and it was just kind of a mess in terms of tonal shifts. The writing was very sloppy and really didn't add anything new to these Da Vinci movies that we've seen before. So there are some interesting deleted scenes and 6 intriguing behind-the-scenes featurettes. But again, this was a huge misfire for Ron Howard and the rest of the talented cast. And really, the cliched writing just didn't save it as well. So these talented actors have nothing really of substance to work with here. So give Inferno a pass. That is my recommendation. Let's move along. Get swept away in a beautiful romantic drama, The Light Between Oceans. And this is a lush, classic romance, a definite throwback to old school flicks, courtesy of director Derek Cianfrance. And this stars Michael Fassbender, Alicia Vikander, and Rachel Weisz, based on the 2012 best-selling novel. And it basically looks at a young combat veteran played by Fassbender, who's also a lighthouse keeper on a remote island off the coast of Western Australia. He's living with his wife. They're trying to have a baby unsuccessfully. What happens one day, though, is a baby is lost at sea, washes up on shore. So they adopt the child as their own. And years later, that decision has major repercussions. This was a beautiful, sumptuous drama with just gorgeous cinematography. The location shooting in many parts of Australia was utterly breathtaking, and I thought the performances really grounded the film. So a lot of romance, a lot of drama in this one, and I thought it was beautiful. It's a little on the long side, but again, it was so intriguing and painted such a complex picture of life and family in a difficult time. And the backdrop of the lighthouse was very eerie. So the first half of the movie had this great gothic quality, almost like a romantic ghost story kind of thing. So check this one out if you get a chance. And if you're a fan of Fassbender and Vikander, this is two of their best roles here, The Light Between Oceans. Let us move on. Tom Cruise is back, kicking butt. Jack Reacher, never go back. And he's got some help with Canadian Kobe Smulders in this one. You know what? I really dug this movie. I think even though the character of Jack Reacher in the Lee Child books, he's an imposing figure, and we know Tom Cruise is kind of a smaller man in stature, I still think he brings a lot to the role here. And when an army major played by Smulders is framed for treason, Reacher discovers she's the target of a massive government conspiracy. So he's got to risk it all to take down a powerful organization. You know what? It's got some great action, some sassy one-liners, and Cruise has so much magnetism. He's such a professional and still one of those great old school working, action, drama, comedy actors. And he fills the role very nicely, I thought, despite, as I mentioned, about the size difference with the character in the books. But you got 80 minutes of exciting bonus content. You got in-depth interviews with the cast and crew, a detailed exploration of Lee Child's iconic character, and a little bit about how they did the shooting on location in Louisiana. So there you go. Jack Reacher, never go back. I kind of like this one. It had a real kind of throwback feel, like a lot of those Clear and Present Danger, Patriot Games type novels and movies that we enjoyed back in the day. Let's move on. Queen of Katwe, Stealing Hearts Everywhere, an inspirational journey based on a true story of a young girl from the streets of Uganda to become a world-class chess player. This was the official selection of the 2016 Toronto International Film Fest, and it captured hearts everywhere. Also got the People's Choice Award's second runner-up. And as I mentioned, based on a true story. The in-home release takes you behind the scenes with the filmmakers as well as the cast and their real-life counterparts through extensive bonus features and a 3-part documentary highlighting the amazing personal stories behind the film. And you got an excellent cast here. Medina Nelwanga is sensational, and then backed by tremendous talent courtesy of David Oyelowo and Lupita Nyong'o. So a great cast, a really life-affirming, heartwarming film here, and it's directed by Mira Nair. And yeah, I really dug this one. A real crowd pleaser. So great performances all around in Queen of Katwe as well. And we will leave you with an utter masterpiece. The Walt Disney Signature Collection welcomes the timeless tale of Pinocchio. My goodness. And you've got hours of new and classic bonus features on this one. Considered one of the greatest animated films ever. 2 Academy Awards, Best Original Score and Best Original Song for When You Wish Upon a Star. A rare 100% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. And the features include a reinvented rendition of When You Wish Upon a Star, never before seen artwork from the Pleasure Island sequence, plus archival recordings of Walt Disney himself during production, and a recently restored and scored 1927 short featuring Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. I recently watched this with my 2.5-year-old, and she was absolutely enthralled, and I hadn't seen the film in years. It looks absolutely pristine, so getting the high-def treatment there, loaded with bonus features as well. Do not miss, as I say, this timeless classic, Pinocchio, getting the Disney Signature Collection treatment on Blu-ray. Nice. All right, there you go. We'll leave it there, people. I am Thor Dykow. You can check me out on social, on Twitter, Instagram, @ThorDykow is the handle. We'll see you next week on breakfasttelevision.ca.